As Albuquerque keeps filling in, there are fewer and fewer spots for pilots to land during Balloon Fiesta. Now there's a proposal to give tax breaks to people who let balloonists land on their property. News 13's Diana Salceda is here with details.
Well, Jessica, this tax break is one of several ideas being tossed about at a city-county meeting going on now. But will it fly? Some say something has to happen, or we could endanger the biggest tourist attraction here in New Mexico. The Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, daddy of all tourist attractions here in New Mexico. But growth in Albuquerque and Bernalillo County is whittling down space where balloonists can safely land. Often balloons come down in some not so inviting spaces. If the problem isn't solved, some say the fiesta could be threatened.
What I've heard from the balloon community is that if we keep going to where we're going, where property keeps getting developed, is that eventually it could really hurt the fiesta.
City Councilor Don Harris is looking at ways to increase the land that welcomes balloonists. One idea, tax incentives.
Maybe you could get a deduction or some exemption or some credit on your property tax if you do certain things to make it open for balloons.
This big field at Osuna and Vista del Norte could have been a Walmart, but the city stepped in and fought the retail giant. It won, specifically so balloonists could use this. But this is only a part of the picture.
There's just so much development.
Paul Smith is executive director of the Balloon Fiesta. He says other things crowd the landing map: retail, farming, ranching, Kirtland Air Force Base, and Indian reservations. He's not sure tax incentives are the answer, but better planning.
Instead of putting a building in the middle of a lot with a little bit of land on each side, maybe put the building on one side or the other so there's a bigger open area.
As a balloonist, boy, that's a great idea to have incentives for landowners and stuff to allow us to land. That's great. Me as a taxpayer, given these times right now, I see a challenge.
Well, another idea being looked at is a city-county fund that would provide reimbursement to landowners if a balloonist damages their property. But the Balloon Fiesta says balloonists are already required to carry insurance to cover those sorts of things. Jessica, back to you.
Okay, Diana, the number of balloonists had dropped from more than 1,000 in 2000 to about 500 last year. The Balloon Fiesta says that is in part due to the economy, but largely due to safety concerns around less landing space.